Hey guys, it's Trip with IFT, and today I want to tell you a story about how a repairman automates their calendar with AI. But first, before we get started, we actually found this story from our community team manager, Dan. Say, hey, Dan. Dan leads our community team. He sent us a message in our Slack channel saying, hey, I just had a really good conversation with a customer, and I want to tell you about his story. What the community team does is they help you troubleshoot and build your dream applets. All right. So if you're running into a wall where you're not sure how to create an applet, but you know what the finished product should be, feel free to go to help.ift.com and just reach out. They can definitely help you build those applets, troubleshoot your JavaScript, troubleshoot which services you should be using on IFT and how to use them more appropriately. Now, let's get started. So our repairman gets new leads through his email every single day. Those emails look the exact same, except for they have the customer information structured correctly, and then they have the appointment time structured in the same way every single email. And what our repairman was trying to do was pull that information from the email, create an automated Google Calendar event to be just basically added to his calendar every single day, and then also save that information in a Google Doc so he has a historical context for every single customer he meets with to help repair their products and appliances. What he was having trouble with was he was trying to use filter code. He couldn't get his filter code right. Dan, what's up, Dan? Had a really good idea to use our AI prompt tools to query the content inside of the email and then use the responses from those AI prompt tools to create the calendar event and to add that content to a Google Doc. Let's see how it looks in an applet. So over here in the applet, I will share this in the YouTube description below. But basically, if a new email is received on Zoho Mail and it matches a specific criteria, so they're kind of segmenting, the subject line always reads new lead or new appointment from X, Y, and Z. So they segment it out from the subject line so it knows which appointments are coming in from this specific mailbox. It will query it with our AI prompt and then also the ChatGPT query on it. They both basically do the exact same thing. You're basically an open-ended GPT prompt that you can use. And then from that information that it queries from the body of the email, it will create a detailed calendar event and then create a specific document for Google Docs as well. So let's build this applet. So you can either use the Zoho service on IFT and you can just read every email with a specific subject line. That's how a repairman did it. Or if you're using other email services, you can just forward any new appointment email that lands in your inbox to IFT, and then that could trigger this automation. So just send it to trigger@applet.ift.com and use this as the trigger applet, and it will fire this applet every single time it receives a specific conditioned email from you. Now, the next step is the AI prompt. So if you click into here, basically based on the list of information, please create a response that only includes the claim number and service for body. Again, this is very unique to the types of emails our repairman was receiving. You can edit this prompt to read whatever content is in the body of an email and then return whatever content you want from ChatGPT, which is great. Now let's go back. And so what this does is it pulls that claim number which is unique to every single user for the repairman. And then you also want the calendar information, like that date and time information, written in a way so that you can easily add it to the Google Calendar. So if you click this edit button, this is the prompt that we ended up using. Again, super subjective. You can use whatever prompt you want, but you're basically telling ChatGPT to read the content of the body and pull out the relevant information you want, which is so much easier to do than writing a lot of JavaScript in filter code. But what this reads is based on the list of information, please create a response. Only includes the date and start time. The response should only include, by start time and no additional text. And remove the EST or EDT if that's included. And it reads that body of the email. Again, very specific. That's kind of what you have to do with ChatGPT. But it will return just the time. And you can create a Google Calendar event based on just that time, which is really cool. And go back, and then you basically create an event with the responses from ChatGPT or the prompt, depending on like what content you're trying to pull from the body with those AI tools. And you can create a document for that specific audience as well. Again, I walk through this whole process in the blog. I'll link that in the YouTube description below. But yeah, this is just a really cool way our users are using our AI tools to read and scrape information from blogs and then use that information to create Google Calendar events, Google Docs, to just use IFT in a very unique way. Well, again, this is Trip with IFT, where everything works better together. Let me know in the comments how you're using our AI tools. I'd love to learn more about these kind of unique stories from our users. And have a good day, guys. Thanks.